Is there audio? Oh, there we go. All right. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Sketch Fighters. Good to see everybody again. Can you guys hear me? It's been 2 or 3 weeks. There we go. Okay. Hope everybody's doing good. Just buried in deadline crunches. Back stateside. Waiting a minute for Mr. Chen to join us. Not sure about Courtney. Wait, somebody. No, nobody. Give me a second here while I wrap up this figure. How's everybody doing tonight? Can't believe it's already Tuesday. Time is just flying by. Hope everybody's staying cool as we hit the middle of the summer. I've been in Taiwan the last few weeks, and visiting family. And now it's time to get back into the groove. Let's see here. Tonight we're going to be drawing Mumm-Ra from Thundercats? I think so. Right? Uh-oh, I hear somebody.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there's Sean. All right.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, saved by the bell.
You're drawing Aquaman, so this must be for your book.
Yeah.
Screw the spoilers, right?
Well, you just see Aquaman. I mean, he's on the cover, so you know that he's in the book.
Wow, that thing is like drawing. You're like inking as you go.
Pretty much.
So why does sometimes it makes that thin line and sometimes it makes a big old black puddle?
It's a pen. It's based on the pressure that you put down. It's pressure sensitive, so similar to the Wacom. Isn't the Wacom pressure sensitive?
Yeah, it is. Well, I don't have the settings right, so.
Oh.
I mean, I prefer not to have any variations, so I have to press really hard for it to get fat or thin.
Yeah, this one, it's I think it's set up, this particular brush is set up that you can get pretty thick with it. Just get some nice coverage. It's almost too much. I need to play with it a little bit more. I don't really do a lot of customized brushes when it comes to digital. I almost always just use whatever is the factory setting. Just not
the default.
Yeah, I guess it's not good. I mean, if you can customize, why not? But a lot of times, even Procreate, I only know enough to get what I need to get done. I haven't had any time to really explore the program beyond just like using it as a tool to draw. I'm sure there's other things about it that might. I was watching like on Instagram, there were some Illustrator tutorials that popped up on the algorithm recently, and I'm like, wow, these things like make drawing like so much easier. I wish I knew some of this stuff. I wouldn't have to kind of go what I always think of as like Russian scientists.
Okay.
You know, where like when they finally opened up the Russia, and they were able to take a peek into the technology of their science program, They were able to fly to space. I mean, they were first to space. They were able to get to the moon, all that stuff, just as NASA, the same as NASA, but like their wiring was like 2 or 3 times the amount in terms of the efficiency and their technology. Do you remember that, Sean?
No, I
Maybe
must have been
Yojimbo
sleeping
knows what
during
I'm
that.
talking about. Let me finish this arm, and then I'm going to start on the Mumm-Ra.
That's cool. Like you drew that fist without super zooming in and no sketching with a pencil.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
just
so
covering
fast
it
the
up
way you do
in
it.
shapes right now. It's a big blob, ink blob. But I did draw the fingers in there initially.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't do that.
It's more about time. I mean, I think than anything. There was a period of time when I was drawing on Procreate, and my left hand, or even my right hand, kept moving up and down, and it would make all these errant marks, and I couldn't figure out how to not do that. And then I finally gave in and asked people, and they were like, "Oh, that's just a setting you just turn off." So that has saved me a few minutes every drawing, at least.
So now you're drawing the trident without really that much of a sketch underneath.
Yeah, it's
Just
really
like
just a shape.
freehand. Wow.
I mean, I've drawn it a few times already. The thing with the...
Oh, someone won. Oh,
Someone?
it's Courtney.
Hey, Courtney.
His birthday girl.
Happy birthday.
It's my birthday. No, it's not my birthday anymore.
Your birthday
Not
week?
anymore, but close enough, right? Yeah.
I was half
Do a whole
expecting
week.
Courtney to be hungover.
Yeah.
No, my actually, like, my girlfriends who also have birthdays basically days apart from mine. We all celebrated together, and none of us really drink that much. But I am extremely tired because I drove back from Vegas, like at 5 a.m. this morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
so that's where
I
you
had to
guys
drop
were.
my
And you showed up here. What an honor.
and here I am, and if I start snoring, I'm sorry. So,
What hotel, what casino were you at in Vegas?
so one of my girlfriends moved out there,
Oh.
so we stayed at her house in Summerlin,
Mm-hmm.
which is really nice.
Mm.
I was like, this is like a really nice like neighborhood, and then we went where'd we go? Into some day club, and then some nightclub.
Mm-hmm. Is this
And
friend single?
what was that?
Is this friend single?
No, she is. Both my girlfriends are. One of them's basically married, and the other one is married.
Oh,
So, yeah,
bummer.
bummer. Yeah. You never met my girlfriend Christina. She always came with me to like the Comic-Con parties
Yeah.
before she moved to Vegas.
I've never seen her before, but I think I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about. The brunette.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, we always got up to no good at those parties.
That's the
So-
one. That's her house. That you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so she's almost married, but not yet.
She is married. Yeah.
Oh, she is married.
She married her college sweetheart from her freshman year of college.
Wow.
Yeah, they were together for like 22 years now. So, and they only got married like I think 10 years ago. Their wedding was, and so yeah. But her husband came out. He's my friend too. So he came out, party with us. He's one of the girls.
The big 4-0.
Hey,
Sean,
why
you're
you
not
adding me
supposed-
like
Sean,
that?
you're not
Damn.
supposed to.
Well, this is going to be your decade. I know. Something big
Every
gonna happen.
decade is my decade. No, I'm just kidding.
40 is the new 30. 30 is the new 50.
Yes, I agree with that.
30 is the new 20.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when it comes to Courtney, I think that's true. I mean, I saw those pictures on Instagram. I'm like, this is 40. What?
Yeah.
All of my girlfriends look good. We look good.
Hubba hubba.
Yeah, I still have more pictures to post.
So
Depending on which ones. I'm more shameless than my girlfriends, but my girlfriend, who is kind of, she's been with her boyfriend for 8 years.
they're not married yet?
No.
Is she still
Wait,
waiting for someone better? Or has he just not proposed? Hello?
Silence.
Uh-oh. I think we upset Courtney.
wait, sorry, I had bad connection. What was that?
Why after 8 years have they not been married?
Oh, he's a little older, and he was, and she never really cared.
Oh.
Yeah, but he has 3 children from a previous marriage, and I think she tries to, not, behave herself a little bit more, I guess. So anytime I'm like, hey, can I post this picture? Like, we look crazy, and she's like, I shouldn't do that.
Older
No.
as in like, is he in a wheelchair already, or is this an
No,
Anna Nicole Smith kind of situation?
he is 60. He's turning 60.
And she
So,
is around the same age?
She's 40. She's my age. Yeah.
20 years.
And he, yeah. But she calls him her Thor because he really does look like Thor. He's a big white dude who's in very good shape. He does really, really, yeah. He's very good, good looking and good for his age.
I thought you were gonna say she calls him uncle.
No, we just go to daddy now.
Not really. I never really got that. I mean,
I think that's a new thing.
Well, you know, like a lot of I remember a lot of growing up in Miami. I had a lot of Latino friends, Cuban friends.
Oh.
And there was a lot of papi going around.
Papi.
Which is daddy,
it's
right?
Just kind of. Yeah, I don't know. We just joke about that. So.
Sean, does your wife ever call you daddy?
I'm not that much older than her.
That's when you.
You don't have to be.
Yeah, I don't think it's an age thing. I think it's a.
Well, yeah, I think my mom called my father daddy because my mom was all about the kids, and when we were born, she's like, he just moved to being a provider. So she just called him the role that he was in the family, which is daddy.
Yeah, but that was like to you guys, right? That wasn't to him directly.
No, that was to him.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know your mom was that kinky.
Yeah, it's very telling because, I mean, it just shows that he's just the provider for the family. He's what he is.
I mean, your mom was a doctor too, right?
I don't know. I thought Jerry was here. Where's Jerry?
Oh, I didn't text I didn't text everybody.
Well, he was in the chat.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. Oh, it's just they wrote something there.
Oh,
yeah, he's not coming.
Yeah, he's with his girlfriend. My cousin's in New York.
Oh, she's still visiting.
Yeah. He's only got a little bit of time left before she has to go back, so.
Yeah.
I think they might be out.
Yeah, don't waste it here.
Yeah, he might be out too. They might be out at a restaurant somewhere. All right.
But he's still listening.
I think I'm almost done here.
What are you drawing? Sorry, what's happening? What's
Aquaman.
happening? I'm like, that does look like Aquaman.
I don't like to draw like beards. I'm not very good at drawing characters with beards.
What is this
yeah.
for? Is this for a panel?
Yeah.
Ooh. Mm.
So I've been
Oh,
just
that's cool. You just kind of like you're going right to the finish. There's no like a construction stage or anything. You just
well, there's like you know, it's like some background layer, rough layer. So
wow.
this is
Really rough.
this is what do they call it?
What a layout?
Without a net.
Oh, without a net, yeah.
But there is a net because I can always erase. I mean, I can just
Yeah.
redraw it. So, and I've been using a lot of shadows. So this is like really zoomed in. I think most of this like on a page is going to be like a small quarter, like the size of a quarter when it gets
Wow,
printed.
really?
Yeah, teeny.
So I'm actually, I think, adding too much.
Details.
Yeah, because I'm so zoomed in.
Yeah, that's why it
So,
looks so much bolder.
Yeah, the lines are like so much thicker.
more
This
black,
is like a panel on, like
thicker.
the last panel on a page. So
Oh, Jerry's leaving. He's going to. He cracked open the bottle of Hibiki 21
oh damn,
without me too. I like that. That's a
Jerry
good
has a
move.
whole wall of like Hibiki 21, and Yamazaki has another wall of like just Yamazakis. So
Mm,
wow. So, what is it tonight? Mumm-Ra? Is that the character?
yeah, did you already do your drawings?
No, I didn't do. I don't do that stuff anymore. I can't. But
Jesus.
Are we
You're supposed
doing
to
a
make it at
sexy
least.
Mumm-Ra tonight?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, what is
Like
the
sexy daddy style. Yeah.
sexy daddy
Or,
Mumm-Ra?
or,
Is that
yeah.
that's
Or,
so,
how the
Courtney,
stream is?
do you like Mumm-Ra, Courtney? I only ask
um,
because it's your birthday, and we usually give these things away, right? So instead of doing that whole number thing, but we've offered stuff for you before, and you're like, nah, I don't care about that character. So
I think I'm more interested if it speaks to me.
okay,
Like if it as the outcome speaks to me. I'm like, yeah, that's um do I necessarily like Mama?
okay, well, uh, keep that in
Maybe
mind.
I'll see. If he comes out sexy, I'll take him. I need some wall art of sexy,
Was there a thing?
questionable mamas.
Was there a thing where Mumm-Ra turns into like a super muscular kind of dude, or he's just like he's a
Yeah.
creepy old mummy, like an old grandpa, and then he turns into like a stud? Or am I remembering
Yeah,
that
I
correctly?
like where this is going. Let's see. I'm Googling it now.
Yeah. Okay.
Turn the bandage into bondage.
Yeah, I think there's. I don't really remember. Cause Thundercats,
Oh, what? He's topless, dude. He's ripped.
right? But then there's also a version of
Yeah.
him where he's like this, like creepy little.
Oh, he got like goblin face.
Yeah.
He got like mummy things going on. Like full money. Oh,
Like
there's a sexy lady
he gets.
doing a cosplay.
Oh, the human cosplay.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we can do, I guess, sexy Mumm-Ra.
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 Mumra? Mumra? Mumra. No.
Let me look up in a minute after I finish this foot. Because I'm so zoomed in right now, I need to pull back out just to get a sense of
Are
scale.
you worried that those like the scales and the hatching will just close up?
Yeah, they would.
I mean, you've done this enough that you have an instinct that, I mean, you're not gonna make this mistake for the 100th time, right? So
This also is like, I'm looking at it on the screen, the legs look too small.
also you can lasso and free transform it.
Yeah, but Procreate, when you transform, and his left arm looks off. The one that's in the back.
Yeah.
This arm back here looks off.
I think if you pull it up a little bit more, it might look a little like behind his hair. I don't know.
I think.
The legs look good.
Hmm?
But I think the legs look good, but the camera shows it from a kind of different angle
Yeah, it's a
than
different
the way
angle.
you
So
see it.
when you see it on screen, it's, the upper body
Yeah.
is. But I should make the legs a little bit bigger. Oh, so I was saying in Procreate, when you resize and transform, it pixelates it. It blurs it. So it's not
But
like
that's
Photoshop.
with Photoshop too. I mean,
Yeah,
it does
but
that with Photoshop.
Photoshop only like slightly. If you're only doing like minor adjustments, here you'll see.
No, it does. Yeah, it blurs it out on Procreate.
You know,
I use it more often. Even if you shrink it, it'll still have kind of blurred edges where I'd have to go
you
over
can
if I
see
want
it's
it a little
starting to
sharper.
get blurry here.
Yeah.
That sucks. That's. Well, I mean, that's acceptable, right? I mean, you won't see that.
Just gotta go and clean.
And then, of
Photoshop,
course,
like
yeah, you
what I
clean it
just
up.
did, it wouldn't have this much of a. It wouldn't have this much of a.
Right. So if it was an Illustrator, it would have none of that. Right?
Yeah. I don't know. Do any comic book guys draw in Illustrator?
I can't imagine.
I don't think so.
I've never used Illustrator.
Which is weird because Photoshop is meant for manipulating photos, and then Illustrator is for people who illustrate. But then we don't use Illustrator in photo. And actually, I think people who take photos actually use Illustrator quite a bit. So,
Does this happen in Clip Studio? Anybody know? Does anybody use Clip Studio in chat?
I think so many people use Clip Studio. It must be able to handle a free transform pretty well.
I mean, Clip Studio is, yeah, I think a lot of like manga artists also. I don't know if a lot of American comic book artists use Clip Studio. But it's a great tool. Clip Studio also has like perspective tools
Yeah.
that
that's
allow
the
you to draw
best
buildings
thing.
and backgrounds, which is usually the most of the time. This hand is a little weird. Which is usually most of the time the skill set that most young artists lack. Which is actually the easiest thing to learn. Wouldn't you agree, Sean?
Which part is easiest to learn?
Perspective.
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, perspective is it's like playing guitar, like one of the easiest instruments to learn, but the most difficult to master. So you can do a basic square room, but then if you try to do like a fisheye downshot of an entire city, it's not that easy.
I always think it's like just laziness when people don't practice and master their perspective.
I agree. That's me, and I'm very lazy, and that's why I'm bad at it.
Well, there are people's like there are brains that are good at math and good at logic. The reason I do perspective a lot is because there's no way to figure out how an organic human body works and moves. You really have to just have a knack for that. But then perspective is possible to learn. So I learned it and then use it a lot. It's like a crutch for me. I try to distract everyone away from the figure by putting a lot of buildings in the background.
I mean, perspective is like the easiest thing to learn too. It's just the most boring.
Yeah. It won't draw all the lines for you. If you're drawing a building, all those windows, it won't draw them for you. It'll just tell you where they would go. And then, yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
All right. I think I'm done here. Usually I'll go in and I'll add like little on anybody with chain mail, like these little rivets. Sean, do you have a particular method to the madness when you're drawing characters that have like chain mail?
It's so hard. I mean, I guess you can make it like a texture. Like, in the Kirby would just draw some fish scales and just float them in there, because then that way you don't have to figure out exactly how it all comes together or how it works in perspective. But you see someone like Jim Chung when he draws Captain America, he draws a little hexagonal chainmail, and he actually has to wrap it around the body, and it it doesn't it doesn't work in real life. So you're kind of doing something that's impossible, and he's still just every time Captain America shows up, just covers his whole body in the chainmail in perspective, in a way that it looks like it works. When in real life, you can't wrap chainmail around something organic, I mean, roughly cylindrical, without having the places where they meet up be different sizes,
Well,
so they
you
won't
could.
come together.
There
So
is a. I've always thought of it as chainmail as like instead of the old chainmail is the ones that like a scale over a scale, right? Like a fish scale.
yeah,
The way I look at it nowadays, I actually found a picture of somebody with chainmail, like a pieces like as a like tile on a wall that's
yeah,
interconnected,
Mm.
but stitched with elastic. Trying to find this reference picture I saved on my phone, so that it stretches. The tile themselves does not stretch, but the interstitial connective
oh yeah,
fabric
yeah.
is the one that stretches.
That's the way to do it. But I mean, I'm sure when you look at the back where it all comes together, it's just all messy.
Yeah.
So it just kind of looks good from certain
Where is
angles.
this?
It's like when we draw Spider-Man, we can draw the webs on him, but then when in the movie, they're like, how the hell does this come together? Like when you're wrapping webs around his head, it doesn't work in the back, so
Yeah,
you end up
because it's
having
actually
strange
reversed in
shapes.
the back, right?
Yeah.
Sean, I don't know if anybody's told you this, but comic books aren't real.
Yes. Tell it to the cosplayers.
Where is this?
That's true. I don't think it's chainmail. I think someone's drawing some fishnets on Captain America.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was of Sarisha, and she's wearing. You guys can see. Now this is it's a little bit. The gaps between the pieces are a little bit wider.
It gets very wide on her boob.
Yeah. Well,
And then
again,
it comes
anything that's
together.
round, it gets
I
stretched
have
out.
a silver top
right?
like that
Yeah.
looks like chainmail actually.
Yeah, prove
I'm
it.
not gonna try it on. I just did that to myself.
I mean, it'll show you like
Um,
whenever there's a rounder and it comes out more, the fabric in this is a much looser fabric or chainmail armor.
That's cool. But like from a graphic standpoint, it looks like you can get away with putting some dots down there,
Mm-hmm.
and then some half circle dots in certain areas, and it'll imply the rest.
Yeah, and you look at also as it goes away in perspective here on the breast, the chest area, right? And where it's facing us is a complete circle. But then as it
Right.
goes away, it's ovular, right? Especially like in this area here, it's more ovular. And that really helps when the eye is looking at it. The eye understands that it's a circular piece, but as it forms around the breast, that also helps define.
Yeah, I know. Joe Quesada can't draw the chainmail on Captain America, so he just does the blue spandex.
Mm. And there's imperfections in it, like here on the shoulder.
Yeah, around her clavicle.
Yeah.
And then another way that you do it is, I think John Cassaday just draws the chainmail very big, like they're like silver dollars, so that you don't have to draw so many. You have to figure out so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's covered in NECA wafers.
All right, Mumm-Ra. Well, I hope when you guys see the final results, you'll like it.
That's cool. It's a lot of detail for a small figure.
Yeah, I might cover his whole arm. The other thing I think Procreate is missing is this toggle between two colors when you're drawing. Does it allow?
Oh
Does it?
yeah.
Like Photoshop, I'm always using my left hand as on the keyboard, so I can toggle back and forth. and kind of easily go between black and white when I'm drawing. But in Procreate, I gotta keep going back. Maybe I should switch to Clip Studio.
Then you gotta like unlearn something and relearn something else.
Clip Studio, I think I read somewhere on Twitter that they've now gone to a subscription based, as opposed to being able to buy.
Yeah, someone said that. Was it D. Roger? Or like someone said that in chat, that it's going to subscription based. So that's kind of a.
Yeah, Photoshop is subscription based now. I pay for
Procreate is too,
Procreate is. I just
isn't
bought
it?
it.
Oh.
It's
Oh, mate, I think you have the choice of doing either or.
Oh. I pay for Illustrator, but I very rarely ever use Illustrator. I'm thinking about just canceling the Illustrator subscription. I haven't used it.
You might have like a bundle though. I found out.
Is it a bundle? I pay for both, right? But the Illustrator portion is like $20 a month, and the Photoshop is only like 10.
It might be one of those things where they're like, well, Photoshop would usually be 40, but look, you got the bundle.
Yeah, because I haven't used Illustrator in like 2 months. It just sits there on my computer.
What would you use it for, anyways? I mean, I hate using it.
Sometimes I have like a project that includes a logo or something, and I need to vectorize art. But again, I don't use it very often at all.
So when it's all vectorized, I mean, you draw a line, and then the algorithm, or like the AI would just say like, do you mean this? And they'll redraw it for you in a way that they can understand and scale up and down. So in the end, like, does it mess with your drawing? Like, is it kind of averaging out your lines and everything?
I think it kind of creates an average of the line, and then it smooths, like all this, it would smooth out, right?
And then is that good, or is that mostly bad for your drawing?
I mean, for logos, it's not that bad, right? But depending on if you have a really detailed drawing, I think it'll lose a lot of its initial, vibrancy.
Yeah.
Especially if like your artwork is very meticulously detail-oriented. It's like a very generalized version of your drawing.
Oh, you're drawing all those scales, so this is going to show when you in actual size?
I don't know. It's also going to get knocked out in color. So, just wasting a lot of time. I mean,
where's my sexy Mumm-Ra?
Okay, yeah, let's get to Mumm-Ra, because I gotta...
Mumm-Ra.
Mumm-Ra. Mumm-Ra?
Mumm-Ra, right?
Mumm-Ra.
M-R-A?
Let me look at chat. Do we have any new people?
Yeah, everyone's giving you ideas on how to do the toggle.
Oh, you can do toggle on Procreate?
Well, I think to approximate it or to hack it.
I do have a keyboard I bought, but I haven't programmed it to match certain... I have like a small keyboard. Hold on a second, I'm looking at the chroma key. Okay. And, because I use my left hand, it's down here, but I'm like resizing it and stuff. I saw on Instagram there was a keyboard that already came pre-programmed for Procreate, but then I found on Amazon there was another one that wasn't pre-programmed for like half the price, and I bought the one that's half the price, and now I'm regretting it because I haven't spent any time to reprogram it.
Wait, Bernard, did you talk about your trip yet?
No, not yet. What would people like to know about my trip?
Everything.
There was no military action. It was actually Um, right before I got to Taiwan, there was the whole hubbub about the Nancy Pelosi trip, and
Yeah.
this constant threat of war or invasion. Um, and when I got to Taiwan, it was relatively um, normal. There wasn't any really, uh-oh, there wasn't really any kind of ominous.
Scare going on.
Yeah, there wasn't an ominous fear in the atmosphere, in the air, right? Everybody was just, this is how our lives are all the time, pretty much. No one really believes that that the mainland communists would invade. So, again, when I was growing up in Taiwan, back in the 70s, they had these bomb shelters that we had to every now and then had to practice getting in. There would be these air raids, practice air raids. I can only imagine people that have been living there all this time, how that's kind of just, and I equate it to almost like living in Miami at one point, where there's always this constant threat of a hurricane, and every year there's hurricane season. Every year people are like, it never hits. Every year the news are like, oh, this one's like category 5, and it never hits. So then people got kind of relaxed, and until Hurricane Andrew hit in 1992, and wrecked everything up. So I don't know. I hope it's not that. I hope it's not a level of complacency because of all of these years and years of threats and nothing really happening.
That's hard though to even kind of stay on edge like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like you just kind of give up. I mean, not give up, but you're like, well, if I hear it, then I hear it and I do something about it. But even when I lived in Hawaii, they would do tests. And then I think a couple of years ago, I was already gone by then, but there was a malfunction.
Right. There's a huge bomb threat, right?
I think you
Or
heard about it.
missile
Yeah,
threat.
I think yeah. So, some of my friends started posting things like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but like shit's going down, like it's going off. I don't know what's happening, like kind of freaking out. So, luckily it was nothing, but like it was. I think there was 2 different things. There was one for like typhoons and tidal waves and things like that, and then there's another one for like missiles and attacks. And I think it was that one.
Yeah,
so they're
the
like,
one.
we being attacked. So I think some people, some of my friends were like, nah, we knew it wasn't going to happen, which was also kind of that complacency, like, but what if it was? So, and then other ones were, like, there's nowhere to hide though. They don't have any bomb shelters or anything either. So it's just like, you don't know what you're gonna do. Probably just areas. But
make sure you have a bottle of wine.
Yeah, always keep some sort of alcohol around. It's good for disinfectant too. If you scrape yourself, so that's pretty good.
What were the hacks for the toggle? Anyway, so Taiwan, got to spend a lot of time with my mom, which is always great. Got a lot of home cooking. Got to see my uncle who had a surgery, and hung out with some cousins. Did a workshop. There was a show in Kaohsiung, which is the southernmost city in Taiwan. It used to be the 2nd largest city. I think it's now the 3rd. I think Taichung is now the 2nd largest. And
you're getting raided, just FYI.
Oh, getting raided? Whoa.
Hmm?
Who raided us? Kosei
Kosei
Art,
art.
Party of 13. Kosei, nice to meet you. How are you doing? Welcome to Sketch Fighters. Tonight we're going to be drawing Mumm-Ra. Right now I'm drawing, finishing up this Aquaman. This is an actual piece for a comic book. Got a deadline. So I'm trying to do two things at the same time. Drawing on Procreate. If you guys have any questions. So we also, on chat, we have the lovely Courtney. It was her birthday yesterday or the day before. And
Day before.
Day before. And we also have SEAN CHEN, a professional comic book artist. Longest tenure on Iron Man and Wolverine for Marvel Comics.
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I had to
Spent 3
deal with
years.
a child.
3 years drawing Iron Man non-stop, consistently.
Well, it wasn't nonstop. I had some fill-ins. You know, I can't draw that fast. Although I should tell you all how to cheat the system at Marvel to make him think you're a monthly guy. But that's I don't know.
I need those cheat codes.
How did you cheat the system? You had like you hired.
Well, I got called into Dave Bogart's office, and he has this entire, like, his room is covered in whiteboards, and each it's like a spreadsheet that has like every artist's name on there.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got called in, I just started apologizing for how long it takes for me to draw, and he said, "Oh no, this is not about that. You're fine." And he says, "Well, we want you to do. We're thinking of you doing X-Men: The End." And he says it's going to be 18 issues. I'm like, oh boy, I don't think I can do 18 issues. Like, it's going to be late. And he says, no, I'm looking at my whiteboard here. It looks like you have 1 month turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not true at all. It's more like 2 months. But I found out what he does is he when the first pages come in, he puts a mark there saying this is the start. And then when the last page comes in, he puts a mark, like he basically marks every page that comes in. And then just count the number of days it took to do the book. So usually the editor was, I asked for the script, and the editor will give it to me and say, like, well, don't start yet because this isn't approved yet. Which is like, you know, I just start anyways because they never make any changes. So then, like, I would just draw it. And then, like, 2 weeks later, I'll call the editor. It's like, you know, is this good to go? Because you haven't... And then he's like, oh, yeah, it's good to go. Yeah, we looked it over. And they didn't look it over. They just forgot. So in that time, I've done like 6 pages. And then I keep drawing more and more pages until they ask for... Like, editor will say, like, hey, it's been a while. You haven't turned in any pages. Are you, is everything okay? I was like, oh, yeah, I'll turn it in now. So by that time, I would have about maybe 10 pages done. And then I send it in. So then Dave Bogart puts the hash mark for the first page, which is basically the first 10 pages, on a certain day on the calendar, which means I have an entire month to do the next 10 pages. So basically, I take 2 months to draw a book, but then when he's counting from start to finish, it's 1 month every time. And that's why they gave me X-Men: The End, because it was like basically a 3-year-long story. And yeah, I don't know how I made it through that, but yeah, I just looked at how he counts things, and I'm like, you know, I bet if I just don't turn in pages until I have half of it done, then he'll consider that to be day one.
Right. Well, isn't that like a war of?
system.
Is that what they call a war of attrition? Because at some point it'll catch up to you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was just worried about surviving the next month, and they do determine whether you're on a contract, like how much you make. Really depends on your ability to put out work. And so he looks at it and goes, well, it looks like Sean can draw a book a month. And then they set your page rate and then your contract based on that. And none of that was ever true. It takes me 2 months to draw an issue.
I'm gonna stop on this figure. This figure is like
I have a
stiff.
similar system to the boyfriends I date.
Oh yeah.
Right?
How often they're
What's your turner?
they're taking you out to dinner, or
Yeah,
if
it's
they
like I'm only dating one guy, but then like you're really just dating 2 people at once.
Yeah.
how does the grading system work?
Um,
You have a whiteboard, and on the big whiteboard
it's
you
like,
have
you know,
names,
performance.
lines.
Yeah, performance.
performance benefits.
Is money earning power on there anywhere?
Yeah. Money, earning power.
That's money is
This
part
is
of
the
the
ideas.
performance, is or how does?
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say that's part of performance, but that's a benefit, added benefit.
How many people?
I gotta really streamline this. It's still in the works.
Oh, still in the works. How
Mm-hmm.
many? What happens if you get knocked off of that chart?
Oh, if you go down a notch on the roster,
Yeah.
yeah, that's yeah. I mean, there's first a warning,
Mm-hmm.
like you're like, well, you're not performing well.
You're in a performance improvement program,
Yes, exactly.
the
And then
PIP.
yeah, exactly. And but I keep it honest. So I have the roster graded. So at that point they can look at it themselves and see where they're at. Just keep real.
So they can look at it and say like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm number one on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Oh, they can actually
Better keep
see.
it up,
They
then.
have access to that. That's not like.
Yes.
No, I believe in transparency.
Okay.
So
So they see what they have to work on, but there's nothing they can do about length. It's
is
just make a
length
lot
part
more
of it?
money, I guess, right?
I guess. You gotta balance out your pros and cons. Nobody's perfect.
Is it like a
obviously.
race where they constantly gets moved up and down?
Sure.
Okay.
You gotta keep the pressure on.
It's like those carnival things where you're with a water gun and you're shooting it, and then
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
here you go, and it's like,
I mean, when you think about dating someone, from the get-go, it's usually that's where you're performing your best. You're like, this is what I'm about. Take you to nice dinners, do nice things. You're at your best behavior. And then when you continue dating someone, then you start getting lazy, and then you're like, we'll just spend another weekend and not gonna really do So for this works out because then pressure's on. They got competition.
high maintenance.
I don't actually do that, but now I'm considering it, so it's actually not a bad idea.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
So
Maybe.
Netflix and chill is a negative thing. Puts you down in the or too
No,
many Netflix and
no.
chills.
It's all about balance.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, nobody wants to go out to fancy dinner every night. That doesn't sound. It sounds stuffy, anyways.
I don't think people can afford going out to eating out all the time.
No, absolutely not. That's why you have multiple boyfriends to take you out.
Oh,
I gotta write all this down.
Yeah.
I mean, you could certainly do it for girlfriends. It's the same. It's
No, I think that's if you're taking if you're going out and you're paying, multiple girlfriends is more expensive.
I've taken guys out. If I ask a guy out, then I will pay for them.
Oh, all the time?
Yeah.
The whole time?
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah. I've done that. But then also it's like if somebody asks me out, then it's usually like, well, that I'm more on that level. Like if you ask me out, I'm not expecting necessarily, but I'll offer to pay. But I think there's still talk about splitting, especially splitting checks on like first dates or
First dates. Oh.
not.
What is the most expensive gift someone has given you that you've been
gift?
A dating, not necessarily a boyfriend, but like
I think my ex, who I continued to date in New York, I met him on one of the dating apps when we were both in LA, when I was in Hawaii at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he lived in LA and he thought I lived in LA, but it turns out we both did not live in LA. And I didn't actually meet him in person. So the first time I actually met him in person, he flew me out to New York.
Oh, so he flew you out for a first date?
Yeah.
First business class or economy?
Economy. I don't care. I yeah, I don't really care.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean, you know, good thing we got along, and he looked like his pictures.
Yeah, well, like
So,
a lot of times, that whole thing about girls feeling like they're being pressured to put out if the guy springs for a dinner. So is it like that?
actually,
I
no,
mean,
no,
if
no,
he
no, no.
flies you, he freaking flies you out. That's
I've had the opposite problem actually. I had more guys tell me that they don't have sex on a first date than yeah, than the opposite.
gentleman. Oh,
I don't consider that gentlemanly, I guess. I don't consider like sex as, you know, in a way demeaning. I never had that problem. If somebody can't have sex with me on the first date and still respect me and want to date me, then there's a problem there. But I mean, I never had that problem. Plus, it's like, you know, if you're considering this a love interest in any type of way, then yeah, you kind of want to try that out before getting too involved. Because if
Right.
it's not good, then you gotta like be like,
Sex is
no,
part of
thank
the
you, sir.
relationship,
I don't want to waste your time.
right? If you're not sexually compatible, that could be
Yeah,
hmm.
yeah. Yeah, I could, you know, for a few years, I was probably tougher, for borderline mean.
I've sent a girl.
Maybe not mean.
I flew a girl out to New York once for a date.
For a
wow.
first date too?
Was it a first date? Not really. Like a second or third date. But then I sent her back on the plane immediately.
Oh, are you serious? Serious?
Sean knows.
You're
I think I was at
lucky.
Sean's place. Was I at Sean's place?
Well, that was in San Diego.
No.
Wait, what is this story? You actually did that?
Yeah. I will save that for another show. No, I met her in
That's
I met her in San Diego. But then well, she came down from LA to be to help out at the booth, I think.
mm.
Were you at
But
San
then
Diego
you
that year, Sean?
I do not recall.
I think it was just JP
I
and me.
think you hired someone to help out in San Diego,
Yeah.
and then put that girl back on a plane before the show started.
ooh, was she troublesome? I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
All right, let's get started on this Mumm-Ra drawing before I get in
Yeah.
trouble.
Mumm-Ra.
All right.
Oh, you know how you always are trying to come up with like whatever is topical that you want to talk about. So this Kyle Rayner thing where he's portrayed as being Latino by holding and eating
Right, space tamales.
certain food. Yeah. I mean, when you draw Chinese superheroes, you'll do like a lot of stuff where they're eating like dim sum or. So, you know, what's the difference there? Like people get really upset over one and.
Not over the other, right? Okay. Yeah,
Well, I don't really see
I
the
have
difference.
formulated an opinion on this. I mean, when I was drawing the new Superman covers, variant covers, this was like 4 or 5 years ago. Because there were variant covers, there was a cover A, cover B. I had the option of like kind of doing non-story related covers. So I felt like a very Asian thing is food, right? It's a very kind of cultural identifier. With any kind of culture, I think food is a tremendous way to learn about a new culture. You know, if you're eating, if you're open to trying different foods from different cultures, to me, it makes you someone that's a little bit more open to learning about other people, right? I don't know that many people that aren't very open with their palates, because food in itself, even though it might be kind of weird to you that you don't normally eat, it's not like you're eating anything that no one else has never eaten before. It's just weird to you because you don't. It's not part of your. Um, what do I say? Normal consumption habits, right? It's like if you were to eat like snake soup, well, I mean, it's kind of weird because it's not readily available in the US, but it's not like something that nobody's ever eaten before. Like a lot of other people eat snake soup and they don't die from it, right? It's just a different flavor and a different context. And then there's a history behind the snake soup, um, or why certain cultures might be more open to eating that. Anyways, I don't know. Sean, you need to get me back on track.
I think I have kind of an opinion about that. I think in a lot of your full illustrations, though, that's just one piece of the whole picture is the food. It's just an added thing. And I remember you did one, full illustration of the Asian Superman, and he's eating with everybody, and they're eating together, which is part of part of the culture. It's not just like the guy Aquaman standing there eating a taco, which I think that's what these images kind of portrayed.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like there's many different things. You had the environment that they were in. You changed their costumes. You added so many other different parts of the culture, but that was just an addition to it, and a fun addition too. Like that's kind of like the lighthearted, part of it. So I feel like that's more of what I feel like they missed the mark by not adding more, certain cultural things. And the way I see it as a white person is I see a white person making these decisions, being like, yeah, just have so and so eat a taco or eat a burrito, and not really having more of the opinion. Whereas like any Latinx or Latino, Latina, there's different costumes, there's many different regions, it's there's just, so much more. So I think that's, more of why people are, kind of getting upset. But in that kind of same breath is, I just saw a video the other day of how this younger man was talking about how Marvel, the MCU, has been taking out, the Jewish aspect, me being Jewish, of the, things that were originally written, heroes that were originally written, that had Jewish experiences aren't Jewish anymore.
Magneto?
Kind of like I'm sorry?
Like Magneto?
I think that was more, that looked like more of an experience, but I think he was specifically talking about, who's that? Moon Knight, I think that new one.
Moon Knight was Jewish?
Yeah, apparently he was Jewish. Which I also, these are things that I wasn't quite sure. He did kind of break down the history, and I didn't really look into what he was saying. But it was also talking about how Nazis were used to portray things like in I mean, that was the original Captain America. Obviously, he was fighting Nazis, and so I think it was just like they less of the characters that were Jewish, this came as a surprise to me too. Like I never knew these. I knew there were certain aspects of it, especially for the time. But he was saying certain people in the comic book industry were Jewish, from the very beginning, and they were more telling the story, whether it's kind of related to something biblical like Moses. So something is a short kind of TikTok, like maybe 60 seconds, a breakdown. And then I kind of got other people's opinions on it, but in the end, there's really not that many Jewish people, period. To be honest, there's not that many, in the world. So making those decisions and leaving that out is quite easy. And those are things that I didn't even know. Like, I didn't know that was, more of an aspect of comic books, back in the day when they first, started, that some of those writers and artists were Jewish, and they were, pulling from Jewish folklore and like Old Testament things. So I really went down a rabbit hole with that, but that's what I think.
Sean?
The end.
I think Sean used that as an excuse to go on a bathroom break.
I think Yojimbo was saying something about the art being. I don't know the complete story, but supposedly the art was altered, and I don't know what that means. Like they actually
Well, he
put
had to redraw it.
chimichangas in his hand.
He had to
So
redraw it. Jim
to
Chung's
put
in it?
to take the food out or to put food in or what?
So he had drawn a homage piece to a Mexican, which, by the way, they're now using the original piece for the final cover. So the artist had drawn an homage to a Mexican painter, very famous Mexican painter who had done this kind of piece, and he replaced the character, the homage, with is it Kyle Rayner? Was that the character, the Green Lantern character, Sean?
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
So Kyle Rayner, and then it was replaced with him. Instead of holding the lantern and the Mexican flag, he was holding a green flag that says "Viva Mexico" and a bag of tamales. So a couple of different thoughts, like, is Kyle Rayner Mexican? I don't think he is, right?
No.
So it's I get like I feel like on one hand, when I was going back to the new Superman covers, the first 12 or so covers that I had done had a food-centric focus. The one that Courtney mentioned, was dim sum. That happened to be on May, which was Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and so the thinking was, what was a Chinese food, because the character was Chinese Superman, and dim sum was a very popular kind of Chinese meal, and usually done in groups, large groups. And the thought was, okay, let's do something where we're honoring or bring recognition to all of the Asian characters in the DC universe, and then using that as a story platform for why they're getting together to eat dim sum. Some of them were kind of thin. There was a Wonder Woman one where he's drinking a boba tea. And Wonder Woman had just used her bracelets to fend off like an enemy shooting at them, and there's bullet holes in the wall, but obviously the boba thing cup got blasted open. Another one was New Superman sitting on an edge early morning, with Batman on the corner of the building looking down on him, kind of like the early morning, late night crime watch, and New Superman is eating Saobing Youtiao, which is a kind of, it's more a Taiwanese like breakfast, but it has its roots also, I think, in China, and drinking a hot soy milk, and that's like a very early breakfast. So the story behind that is that, yeah, they're having a late shift or early morning shift. It's probably like 5-6 in the morning, just as the sun is about to rise, and New Superman is eating a breakfast item, a traditional kind of Chinese breakfast item. So I think on a couple of parts, the food covers that I've done, I always try to throw in a story component to justify the use of the food item. the tamales seemed kind of just, I guess, crowbarred in, um,
Mm.
because it doesn't really, he's just standing on an asteroid or space debris, um, holding a flag that says Mexico and then tamales. So maybe that's why it felt a little off. Um, the other component I was thinking about is that, um, and I don't know if this is how politically correct this is that Asian American or Asian influences in pop culture is a very recent thing. Um, last few years has been a tremendous increase in kind of Asian centric characters or themes. Um, and so I think a lot of that is being celebrated, um, that we're finally getting a particular spotlight. Um, I'm wondering if over the years, as that wears off, as that luster kind of wears off and becomes the norm, if we will be in the same situation as our Latino brothers and sisters, where now using food as a cultural reference might not be as oh wow, they're finally pointing out something that we like to eat. Tamales or tacos are definitely a lot more woven into American uh, uh, everyday life, right? So
Mm.
um, it's no longer like a kind of a niche thing. I don't know. Does that make any sense?
I think it does. I think
Yeah.
the art itself, it just looked like there was no actual opinion from people from that culture in the end, you know. Whereas like now they have the new art too, in that way, if you saw people who were just like, you know, Asian American culture, or Asian Pacific Islander, month, we're just gonna have Superman eating ramen, and in the same way, it would be kind of seen as odd. But and certain people will take offense to it, and certain people won't. That's how cultural appropriation is. It's always going to be a blurred line of who feels they can or cannot do it, who can't wear certain clothes, who can't you know cook certain foods. It's going to be that way, but also in that way, I feel like I can look at it and be like, yeah, this seems like it was missing the mark, and I can see it from their point of view, that isn't a true representation of really their culture, and it could have been done just a lot better. And I guess that's more of my opinion.
Sean,
I'm too
what are
opinionated.
your thoughts
Just
on
let me
this?
shut up.
Before we all get in trouble here, since you're the one that brought
Hmm.
it up. Does
You guys
chat
won't
have
get in
any?
trouble. I just gotta watch myself. I'm the white person here.
Like I was thinking, I was
Uh,
talking to another guy about this. I was like, there's another cover where like Blue Beetle is jumping off of the side of a building, and I guess he's eating tacos. Um,
what about Deadpool?
but I thought it'd be kind of cool, like, uh, um, I mean, there's also other like, well, there's also other different kind of like Hispanic foods that are like tacos and burritos and are kind of fairly generic. Um,
Mm.
it's almost like the equivalent of if I just did New Superman eating egg rolls or fried rice,
Yeah.
right? Whereas dim sum or salmon or boba is a little bit more um, not as stereotypical, although it's becoming like boba definitely is a very stereotypical drink now. Um, but also, I guess
I
the
need
the
it. I
groups of
need it.
people that are
Life.
it has a different kind of flair to it, right? I don't know. Let me say hello to chat real quick.
Oh, you didn't yet?
You gonna have time to do this drawing?
I think
It's,
long. What time are we? An hour in already? Shit, we're already an hour in. Okay. D. Rogers here. Good to see D. Rogers. Crispy Papa. I think Long Wu. Not Long Wu. Somebody else was first today.
Hey, hi.
No, not Lurky Lurk. James Cole, I think, was first today. Good to see everybody. Cabot Inc. Vorendor streaming. Dr. Midnight. There's
Dr. Midnight's watching your interview.
Oh, with
Was it a Taiwanese interview?
Mimi Chan.
Oh, there's an interview?
Sifu Mimi Chan.
I think it was, I don't know, maybe Dr. Midnight can say what he was watching Bernard on.
Sifu Mimi Chan, she interviewed Jean Yang, the writer of Monkey Prince, and then
Oh, okay.
but she also interviewed Brian K. Vaughan and James Rucka, your old writer.
Oh, yeah.
So she has a few comic book people in there too. It's pretty cool. I was listening to the Brian K. Vaughan interview earlier today while I was working. Of course, Yojimbo, our moderator extraordinaire. Hope everybody's doing well. Kevin P. West is here. Simple Man, of course. Simple Man, I got to get back to you on the review. I should be... my schedule should open up later this week. So I apologize for that. Eddie Draws well. Good to see Eddie Draws well. Koshe Art again. Thank you for the raid. First time chat. Car collector. Surprise. Car collector. Okay. I almost said something. Blues Boy. Good to see Blues Boy. Just some dude. What's up, James? How you doing? Someone's stalking. Way highs here. Poop Kid. What's up, Poop Kid? Oh, we did a Poop Man. Poop Man.
He's not a man anymore. He just dumped me. He dumped me over chat now.
You didn't invite him to Vegas.
No. He said to take him off the roster.
He would have gone out to Vegas to hang out with you guys. Why didn't
he was invited. He said he had something else to do, I guess.
What's up with that? Jay Dang, good to see Jay Dang. You guys, some of these guys met up at Emerald City last week with Tommy. Checking out their Dr. Midnight. Thank you for the gift sub. How was Emerald City? New York Comic Con is a month away, almost. A little over a month away.
What?
October 5th, 6th. I gotta buy my
Who's flying me out?
Yeah, is your boyfriend gonna fly you out, or your New York boyfriend?
No, not anymore. I think he's married.
He can still fly you out.
Yeah, maybe.
D. Rogers, good to see D. Rogers. Okay, I think I'm kind of caught up, almost. So why has Poop Kid dumped you?
Yeah, let's get this drawing underway.
Yeah, let's get this drawing underway.
I'm getting worried.
He became a man, and then he just moved on. He realized he could do better. Let's be honest.
James Quo.
Yeah, that one incident got his confidence up.
Prince of Canada. Good to see Prince of Canada. So should I do the beefed up Mumm-Ra?
Yeah.
Oh, Andre Pennycook. What's up, Andre? How you doing? High school classmate, Andre Pennycook.
Of yours?
Yeah, from Miami. Welcome to the stream. All right, let's do Mumm-Ra. Should I do blue? I should ink this in the blue ballpoint pen.
If you like really want to give it to me, you can like add me in. I could be like a slave.
You want to be Mumm-Ra's slave?
Yeah.
Or you want Mumm-Ra to be your daddy?
Yeah. I mean, that's a more realistic daddy, like kind of older, a little decrepit. But he got some money though.
Well, I don't know. Mum-Ra doesn't have any money.
Doesn't he have a castle he's living in? Where does he
It's like a
live?
cave.
In a
Look at this.
Oh,
He
damn.
lives in a cave. I mean, it's its own cave.
Oh,
I'm sure the mortgage
it's
is paid off,
okay.
right?
You know, as long as it's paid off.
It's like an old temple, kind of.
Oh, Yojimbo says he lives in a pyramid.
In a pyramid, okay.
That's kind of dope. I'd be down with that.
All right, so this is the Mumm-Ra.
Yeah, he's a mummy. He has to be in a pyramid.
But he can't stay. He shrivels up at some point. He can't stay in this.
That's what Viagra's for.
Right. So he does. He's not constantly buffed, Courtney. He does shrivel up into an old mummy.
Okay. Fine.
What else is Mumm-Ra's powers? He just becomes like a really strong dude, but then does he shoot laser beams out of his eyes, or?
I don't remember. I'm trying to think of his voice, but all I can hear is your voice doing the snarf.
Is this why Jerry chose Mumm-Ra? Mumm-Ra, and then what is this? His hair is snakes? No, he just has like a snake crown. Okay, let's get this drawing over with. I need to get back to work. I'm gonna have Mumm-Ra look down on you like Mumm-Ra's your daddy, and you've been a bad girl, Courtney.
Yeah, this the Steven Spielberg camera shot. Are you looking up at that guy?
Maybe I am still hungover.
You're on no sleep.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a lack of sleep.
Best cackle ever.
I think that was me.
Oh, okay.
Cackling.
Wow. So you gotta try to make this guy look cool.
Well,
he's cool.
I don't know. It's Mumm-Ra.
I don't know.
I'm never really afraid of Mumm-Ra. He hasn't really done anything to like. Has Mumm-Ra ever done anything that's like extremely villainous? Maybe he's just misunderstood.
Mumm-Ra was the one who plucked
he steals your toilet paper
from ancient Japan.
What was that? You were breaking up.
Yojimbo says Mumm-Ra was the one who plucked Hachiman from ancient Japan and brought him to the current third Earth. Yojimbo's knowledge is so intense.
Wow, that sounds like a different language to me.
Who's Hachiman?
I don't know. Probably a ancient samurai, I'm assuming.
This is
Hachiman.
Hachiman?
Is that 8-man?
Is the Shinto god of war.
Oh.
He looks like a kid.
Oh, well, it's just a... oh, that's spelled differently.
Oh.
You need the T in it. It's a different letter in Japanese than the CHI.
Oh, Hachi.
Oh, Hachi.
Okay, alright. Getting off track here.
I think if you Google any Japanese name, you'll probably come up with some anime character anyway.
So what is Mumm-Ra's motivation? Like he wants to take over
Your toilet paper.
Is Mumm-Ra's Thundercats, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking, okay, Masters of the Universe's Skeletor. So,
Yeah.
what is Mumm-Ra's motivation? Like, he doesn't like cats?
Is that true?
No.
Why doesn't
He
he
has
just
to like
move to
cats
another
because
planet?
he lives in a pyramid and he's so related in like Egyptian folklore that he's he's probably close to the cat dog god.
Yeah. Why doesn't he just move to another planet?
Oh, motivation is never revealed. He's just out there being evil for the sake of being evil. I appreciate that. I feel that. We're
It's
close.
lazy villain character development.
Right. That's my whole thing. It's like, has anybody written, you know, certainly even like the most villainous villains, there is some, if you look at it from one particular angle, he's like, he does something good, right? He's not like
Yeah.
pure evil.
Was the hero of his own story.
Yeah, like he's actually doing it.
Yeah.
He's thinking he's doing good, right? That's what makes him so bad, is that you just can't see that he's. That's kind of like.
But yeah, all that stuff. The development takes time. I mean, you really want to see scenes of his like unresolved childhood conflicts.
Right,
and
like what
daddy
was Mumm-Ra's
issues.
dad? Like Mumm-Ra's dad beat him or abused him, or. I mean, it's kind of like real life. Like all these people that are, think
his
they're
teeth
doing
are all
good.
tore up.
Huh?
His teeth are kind of tore up. Maybe he got punched in his face by his dad too many
They wouldn't
times.
let him have braces, so he got angry.
Yeah, I mean, with all this magical powers, you think his teeth would be like straight, or maybe that's
I
like
think
a cultural
he's
True.
primarily motivated by lactose intolerance too. That's what I read. And he has those wicked hangnails. Every time he does the dishes, it just kills. So he got really angry.
Let me move this over so you guys can get a better view of the reference that I'm using.
Oh, I see. You're using that one is a sculpture, right? So it's actually lit by real light.
But I'm choosing a different angle. The helmet is the helmet Egyptian? Yeah, well, he has this.
It's got snakes on there, and then those crazy ribbons.
How did Mumm-Ra die initially?
Isn't he dead? He's a mummy. Oh, initially.
Yeah, like initially he was like the prince, and then he died of old age. He must have died of old age because he's like an old mummy.
Lactose intolerant.
Lactose intolerant.
He just likes the cheese too much.
Well, speaking of Taiwan, there's a new trend now where boba drinks have cheese in them.
What?
In Japan.
In Japan, they have cheese. Like cheese is like.
Yeah, it's like cream cheese.
Yeah,
creamy cheese.
Yeah, like cream cheese. Yeah.
Topping.
Not like sharp cheddar cheese, Sean, but like, but cheese nonetheless. So,
Oh God, what state is it that they're really crazy about cheese? Is it
Wisconsin?
I don't know. Yeah, okay, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They put like cheese on their pies and stuff.
Well,
Cheese on top.
Yeah, like cheddar cheese even.
Yeah.
Cheddar cheese on apple pies.
yeah.
I don't know, man. White people are weird.
Well, I've been to France, and I went to somebody's house, and they had cheese for dinner. Like it was, it was only cheese. It was like this big, just this thing of cheese, and this roundel of cheese.
They're just waiting for you to leave, and they bring out the good stuff.
And I thought it was an appetizer, but it was just the cheese with like bread and crackers for dinner.
I eat that for dinner sometimes, but I wouldn't call it dinner.
Is it is it a circle? Or is it a heart? Or is it, because it looks like a heart, but is it a circle?
Well, I think it's just going into his bossity man cleavage, so it looks like a heart.
Oh, it's a circle. Okay, all right. Otherwise, it's really funny if like his thing is kind of like a heart.
Oh, daddy cleavage. Is that a snake though? Is
It's
that the
two snakes.
design?
The two snakes make a heart. Yeah, look at that. It's really just
Oh
about love.
God.
Mumm-Ra is just really
Yeah.
about love.
This costume was designed by a young Korean girl. So
You should just have him doing like the Korean heart thing with this one of his hands. Just look all mean in the face.
Yeah. So cheese boba coming to a boba shop near you soon.
It's not too terrible, but just not my jam.
This is weird, but you know I'll try it every now and then.
I mean, it's kind of more like, I mean, there's cheesecake, so it's kind of like along those lines.
Yeah.
Unless, yeah.
Why are the two snakes? What are the symbolism of the two snakes? Anybody know anything about Egyptian?
I can
it's
only
like,
think of the
what's
medical version of it.
that symbol that's called a, what is it called? Oroboro or something like that.
Yeah, the one with
Or
the
it's,
staff.
yeah, well, the snake is trying to eat its own tail, so it kind of goes in a circle, something like that.
Oh.
So this looks like a snake with two heads that are kind of attacking each other.
Mm. Oh. Two-headed snake represents unlimited evil. I
Oh,
like that.
okay. Who said that? Your Jimbo?
Simple
Yeah, I heard
Man.
Simple
Man did a
Okay.
kick-ass drawing for this character, from what I
Oh,
hear.
I didn't see it. He's been drawing a shit ton. Keep it up, Simple Man.
All right, let's move to the ballpoint pen.
Oh,
Since he's blue.
so this is something you discovered kind of recently, right? The
Yeah, I think
ballpoint pen love.
it's been getting a lot of like
Really?
positive feedback.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that it's like those big pens, which are usually just trash pens, for some reason can create some amazing artwork.
And it relies a lot on pressure, like how tight you hold the pen and how hard you press down on it.
Yeah, surprisingly, you can get. I know someone who does calligraphy with a ordinary big pen, and they just stack up lots of paper together. So when you press hard, the line gets really fat, and when you do it lightly, it's like thinner than a hair.
Right.
So it's like turning a steel ballpoint pen into a brush, which is really weird.
All right, here we go.
So you guys never like doodled in class, like in high school or something with a ballpoint pen? Like that's basically what I did instead of like studying.
Yeah.
Even through
happened to the-
college, I had the whole back of all my notebooks were just doodles with ballpoint pens.
Tonight's
Gambling
ballpoint
problem.
tonight's ballpoint pen comes from gambling problems. Call 888
And the number's 888.
968-7888. So it's lucky, you know. If you have gambling problems, you should call this number, but it's a lucky number. So you might get
Nice.
man, this I don't, you know. Otherwise, how would you get rid of your gambling addiction? You know, it has to be like a lucky number.
Very true.
Do you guys remember? Maybe you're not old enough, but in high school we used to have the pens that were erasable.
Yes.
Everyone had that.
Yeah.
Yes. And the ink would
but they
come
don't really
off.
make that anymore, right?
Oh, I don't know. What?
I have some from Japan, but they like work a lot better than those ones. Those ones would just destroy the paper when you tried to erase it.
Why?
Or at least
yeah,
maybe I
'cause-
was just heavy-handed.
Why are they
eraser
no
makes-
longer
yeah.
available?
The eraser was like a sandpaper. It's like it tears up your paper.
It was so bad.
Was there a reason why they don't make them anymore? Is there a...
Yeah, I was wondering about that. It just seems like it was like so ahead of its time, and it's like future technology. And then now we're in the future, and they don't have it anymore.
Japan has it's basically like a rubber nub, so it doesn't necessarily like it's supposed to rub the ink off, and that's what I use, and it works like really, really well. So I have all those pens. That's what I
And
use
what's
for
the
work.
science behind that? Like,
Yeah. How do you?
It's
That's
called
crazy.
Friction. It's a pilot. I have it right here. It's a pilot pen. Frixion.
Okay.
Friction ball. But it doesn't I feel like the ink is a little weaker than ballpoint pen. I like, it's ballpoint pen is like pretty saturated when you want it to be, and it's harder to get that. So, mm.
No, but also, what's the tech behind the um,
Rubbing it, rubbing one out,
behind the ink that it's
is able to disappear.
yeah.
I don't know. It works really, really well though. You can't see. You can only see the trace of like maybe the indentation on the paper.
But any kind of, like, a lot of times when I see ballpoint pen drawings, I think back, like, oh, there's a slacker in the back of the room just hyper focused using a ballpoint pen to do all this stuff. Do you get that impression?
That was me.
That was you?
Yeah.
Does a ballpoint pen ever come into consideration in your boyfriend chart? Potential
Yeah, sure.
boyfriend chart?
You know what? Whatever they want to pitch, you know.
Oh, Steve's here. Make Havoc. Thank you for the sub. 25 months. Ooh. Thank you, Steve.
It was my birthday this last weekend.
Yeah.
It's still my birthday. I'm still celebrating.
She turned all of 25.
Dr. Midnight's giving out the gift subs. Thank you, Dr. Midnight.
My immaturity would make you think I'm 25.
What would be the youngest guy you would date
Age.
at this
Me?
at this stage in life?
Date?
Is there a cutoff?
What would you consider like date? Like you have to hang out with them. There's a difference between like
Virgin. Take his virginity.
Is
I mean,
riding in a car on someone's lap, is that dating? That might be dating. In circles.
Yeah, that happened. That was an airplane, and the kid was 7.
7. Oh, I'm gonna get the cops called on me. No, I think when I was younger, I think I was always like, oh, I'm just gonna date older guys, and then I think that's mostly what I did, or maybe somebody who was a little bit around my age, and then I think.
Well, okay, and I'll add a caveat to this, like, if you
Sure.
feel uncomfortable answering all of this, any of this,
I'm never.
just like mute your thing, like, and then we'll get it. It'll be like because I'm thinking of all these other questions now that as you're talking, like, the first question was like, what is the youngest you're dating now? You would date now, right? But when you were younger, when you were in your, let's say, early 20s, what was the oldest you had dated or would date?
I dated someone, I think 12, 13 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
So I think I was 21 at the time, and he was 33, around that. I mean, I probably wouldn't recommend that. I mean, I was never, I don't, it just depends on what you also want in life too, I guess. If he's looking to be like, him looking like really settle down, and the 23-year-old might not be that. So I think it's like there is different types of dating. There's dating like for fun, and then there's dating for, more serious, I guess. So, but when I was, dating more for fun, more like a little pre-COVID, yeah, I took the age range down on the dating app, and I was just like, I think I took it down to like 23.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, I guess in the dating app I was at, like, it wasn't like Tinder where you both had to swipe, and it was like you could see who liked you. So, you have your age on there, so if they know I'm older and whatever. And then, so, you know, some of them I'm just like, oh, you are. I can't keep up with the slang. If somebody says my hair is on point and
It's on
goes
fire.
into, I'm like, that's, yeah. What is it? I was talking about this later, but yeah. I don't know. Like there's you know, I think each age has a very is good in different ways though. It's a positive outlook. Like a 23-year-old could obviously be a lot of fun, and they're still like young and experiencing life and doing things, and then older guys are, you know, calmer, more likely, you know, and just kind of more chill, or they experience kind of bad relationships and they know, or, you know, they learned from their own relationships too, and they're kind of better. So, and there, I mean, there's pros and cons too, you know, also some
Like
older guys.
sleep. Tend to fall asleep a lot.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. But I mean, you know, it's just your point of view and how you see it. But yeah, I technically never really dated somebody who was like 23. So I more had plans, and those were more of something kind of quirky. But I guess I'll tell a story. One of the kids, when I was actually working in Tokyo, he is a 23-year-old professional soccer player.
Ooh.
In the U.S., but he's Japanese, and he was in Japan at the time. And he had a.
Hold on. Time out. What is the first thing you think of when she said, or you thought of, Sean, when she said he's a professional soccer player? Be honest. I'll tell mine.
I don't know either.
They have like multiple shots on goal.
Stamina.
Oh, there's stamina. Yeah.
Stamina. Soccer players, you know, they got to run around for like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be pro or con depending on how they are. You know.
Hey, let's look this guy up.
Yeah, let's look. Japanese professional soccer player. What does he play for?
So
LAFC?
I think during COVID he ended up going back to Japan. But he played for.
He went back to his own country.
Not Seattle. No, I think he's technically American and Japanese. Okay. He's Hapa. He's half.
Oh, okay.
So.
You just make it a lot easier if you give us a name.
But then.
We found that other guy. We gave her like the first kiss guy. We found that guy.
Yeah. Well, let me pull out my Google, flex my Google search.
What's his name
skills.
again?
I should forgot his name.
Wait.
Can't be that hard to find.
No, he's on my Instagram.
Crispy Papa says Aussie rules football. Rugby players are known for their stamina. Yeah, rugby players are thick too.
Yeah.
What?
They're running and they're grabbing and they're tackling the whole game, the whole match.
No. Oh my god. I'm trying to find him on my Instagram. I'll continue the story, but he had until I find him. He has kind of a baby face. He still looks quite young. So even when he was trying to message me, I was like, "You definitely look very young."
Did you call him daddy or son?
Did I call him daddy? Well, yeah, no, none of that. I mean, so I never really met up with this guy, but because he ended up leaving Tokyo before, and but my idea was since he did look kind of young, and he went to high school in Japan, I was like, hey, so do you still have like that high school uniform?
Kinky.
And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to like go around like Shibuya or Shinjuku, and I would dress up as like a sexy teacher, and he'd be like looking like a student, and then make it like.
You'd be in Japanese jail.
I mean, I wouldn't. Technically, he's not, but
yeah, the age of consent in Japan is 13. Right?
They might have changed that recently. Actually,
they changed it recently.
I think they did. But I mean, he was down. I was like, you know.
But by the way, speaking of which, Matthew Crossart is in Japan now.
Yeah.
Congrats to Matthew.
He is in Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, you
so
okay.
That's the adventures of what I assume dating a 23-year-old would look like.
So you didn't walk around Shinjuku with this guy?
I did not do that because he ended up leaving. But I thought that would be a fun thing to do.
The high school outfit is like the black jacket with the Mandarin collar. Is that the high school outfit?
It could be. Oh, I found him. I shouldn't tell you.
But you would drive all the salarymen crazy with that kind of going around like that to be like.
It's definitely just like, it would just be an experience. And it's like, you can have, it's an experience. And maybe I'm a little extra person, but I feel like at the time I was like, life is an experience. Life is an experience.
Were you planning on walking him around on a leash?
No, just maybe, making out here and there, but,
public
definitely
displays
looking
of
like
affection.
teacher student. I'm sorry?
Public displays of affection in Japan?
Yeah.
Oh.
With that teacher and student scenario.
Yeah, was he up for that? He was up for public displays of affection? Oh.
I mean, felt like it. Oh. But it would be entertaining. It would be, it's an experience.
Well, there goes the PG rating for this stream.
But also, kind of also during that time, kind of on the flip side, my uncle's in Seattle, and both my uncles are in Seattle, and one of my uncles, he has a church. Mm-hmm. So I ended up meeting another guy who had another church, and that guy was very interested in me. So this priest I went on a couple dates with him.
Or the priest, a pastor or a priest?
Wow.
A pastor.
These are Christian people?
He was Lutheran.
Okay. I thought you guys were Jewish.
He liked Jewish girls. So my uncle is a pastor of I think he calls himself something else. I'm really bad at this. Of Episcopalian church. But yeah, we'd have really, non-PG conversations about religion that we won't bring up here.
Wow.
But yeah, experiences.
I'm a pastor at
maybe in a church.
Church.
Maybe gonna go to hell. I don't know, but it's fun. So.
Wow.
I really got off topic.
Yeah.
Of ages of.
Is Poop Kid willing to dress up in a high school outfit?
Is he? Or
But to do that in Japan, though, that seems like be very taboo. Maybe it's not. I guess we're more Christian here, and they're not into that. I mean, they don't have those same taboos here as we do here.
I feel like it would look questionable, like if I did like a pencil skirt type thing, but they wouldn't necessarily know if I was a teacher,
Or an office lady. Like an office?
Or what?
Like an office worker or something?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, what would
But if I did like the whole like glasses, did a bigger. Okay.
If you held like a ruler, and you just
an
like
apple? Do they give
would whack him.
teachers apples there, or
Yeah,
is that an American thing?
Peaches.
that's an American thing. Um, not yeah. They don't really have a ruler. What would they have? Mm, I think mostly. Mm, yeah, I think still like the glasses and the outfit is still.
What is it? You make him wear that? What's that backpack that little school kids wear in Japan? That's like really thick
The
leather,
leather
and
one.
it's so small. It
Yeah.
can't even hold like a book.
Well, Japanese books are actually quite small though too. Like they're really compact, and it's actually kind of nice. I come back to the U.S. and I'm like, why are books so big here? What are they? I don't know. They're definitely like more compact, and their notebooks are like smaller too. So, but yeah, I do like those. They have some for like super elementary school kids, which are very very small, and then middle school is, larger. They have larger ones for middle school, but I think at that point they're like those aren't cool anymore, and they get like kind of different backpacks or like different bags.
Thank you again to Dr. Midnight giving out another gift sub to Crispy Papa. Thank you.
He gave me one.
Oh, and
I
to
think
Courtney. Thank you. Oh.
he's very giving today.
Yojimbo said I missed the scratch off. There's like a huge lottery while I was gone.
Oh,
Was it?
was
no
it
one's
the
claimed
scratch off?
no one has claimed the one point. Is it 1.6 billion? What is the this?
Oh no, they claimed it.
Oh, someone
I
claimed
thought.
it.
Yeah, it's first they said nobody won it, and then I think somebody claimed it, but they claimed it from a state that they can remain anonymous.
Oh.
Oh, a scratch off was 20 million, the largest ever. Oh, Eugene, but I think the 1.3 billion. I thought it was claimed. Huh.
Where is Jeremy Joe? Is he on here? Hello?
It's because I think they reset the Mega Millions. I think the Mega Millions was 1.3 billion. Jesus. I want that money.
So Ace is back in school. School starting. Sean, has your kid
He's
started?
in New York?
Has your kid started school? Yeah, he's back in Pratt.
Oh, no, the school doesn't start just yet. They have a couple more weeks.
After Labor Day, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
That's next week, right?
Labor Day?
I don't really.
Weekend. Isn't this weekend Labor Day?
This weekend, actually. Is this weekend? I'm confused myself. Yeah. I never liked having my birthday right before school started because my parents would just buy me school supplies for my birthday gifts.
That's the worst.
That's not even as good as like, yeah, that's like people who have birthdays like on Christmas or around them. I think it's worse than that because it's like, I remember I was like, this is a weird shaped present, and I unwrapped it before, and it was like Rubbermaid scissors, like the orange handle ones.
Is this why you're trying to explain to us your schoolboy fetish?
Maybe. Maybe. I have, as you can see, I have lots of fetishes. I am an open person. Creased.
Sean, how was your
if he likes
Costa
me,
Rica trip?
that's own to him.
Sean hasn't told us about his Costa Rica trip yet.
That's right.
No, there's not much to say. I mean, we went there, came back. I saw a sloth, saw some monkeys, and.
Did you touch the sloth?
No,
or
yeah.
No.
Well, you can pay for that experience, but I didn't want to pay for that. So we just looked at him in binoculars and trees.
Oh,
So
it was a
that yeah,
domesticated sloth, or
well, it was in the jungle. So you could go on this jungle hike for a long time, and they said like, now we're going to come up to a place where there's a sloth, and I'm like, how do you know there's going to be a sloth up there? And it's because it's been there for like weeks.
because the worker
They
put
don't
it up
move.
there? It's an
They just don't
animatronic
move that
sloth.
much.
Nest there.
They come down and poop.
Did you eat a sloth?
But yeah, but since then we've went on another trip. We went to
What?
San Francisco and then Portland.
What? Oh,
Oh.
see the family?
Yeah, well, it's because Julia wants to find another place to live because New York is. I mean, there's nothing keeping us here.
I
since
thought you
neither
guys
of us
were moving
work
somewhere
in the
else.
city. Yeah, well, she's got to try every single place on her
Francisco.
list. Yeah, well, San Francisco, you're kind of trading,
That's true.
expensive New York. I mean, I don't know how you live in San Diego, but those are some expensive zip codes. So,
Yeah, San Diego's pretty bad right now.
Well, San Francisco is very expensive, I think.
yeah.
But it depends on
So-
San Francisco, the areas.
Yeah, we were looking at Alameda. I mean, my sister lives in
Yeah.
Alameda, so
Mm,
so
come
yeah,
to the West Coast, Sean. We'll get Jerry out here.
it would be great. Like, even though LA wasn't really on our list, it will make things a lot easier with 24/7 comics.
Yeah.
I hate working over Zoom and typing like 12 emails for something that would basically be a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah, why
Or
don't
you
just
can
have a
call
conversation?
them.
So if 24/7 comics really takes off, and since it's all like NFT stuff and we just make a lot of money, I would just have to move out there for a while just to manage everything.
Just fly down. Fly down for like 2 or 3 days out of the week. You get like a studio apartment.
What do you mean? You can be roommates again.
Oh yeah, you can stay
Roomies?
here.
This place is a mess.
It is. You can stay here, Sean, if you clean up.
Yeah, what removes bird poop?
There's no bird poop.
They bite though.
They do bite. See? But you
They
have
bite
to,
white people. Oh,
Yeah.
they were biting Ace also,
yeah,
right?
they're a
Ace
little
was,
racist, the birds.
yeah.
That's from the
And
previous owner.
you swear
not
you
from
didn't
me.
teach him that.
That's from the previous owner.
Oh,
Yeah. The,
yeah. My roommate had a racist dog.
Mm.
He just always have to be apologizing to black people when he goes on a walk with the dog.
Joe?
Mike.
Yeah, yes, it didn't. They adopted the dog, and they just had no idea that this was part of its personality.
Yeah, it's I think it's the previous owners. Like I picked them.
Mike-
They were in Orange County, so
Oh, that makes sense. My cat was homophobic. He was scared of my gay friends. I don't know why.
Homophobic.
is San Diego expensive
At the
Yeah.
moment, yeah, it's
Hell yeah.
really pricey.
compared to,
Yeah.
but compared to like San Francisco and LA?
It can be comparable, right?
Yeah, especially for larger places, like houses and stuff. If like one bedrooms are, obviously going to be cheaper than San Francisco, especially like the heart of San Francisco. I think that you'll have to rent something out for like 3,500 or more,
Damn.
probably more, probably about $4,000. But yeah, San Diego's. I think a one bedroom goes for like 2,200 for something like not nice. So, and like even growing up here, my friends and I always talk about like the neighborhoods where you see things becoming more expensive, and we're like, that is in the ghetto. Like that, how is it that price?
Sean, you could always live in a storage unit.
With 24/7 comics, we hire a lot of artists and a lot of gig workers. A lot of them is hard to or send them a contract because they don't live anywhere. They just travel all over with their laptop and they work from wherever they are. So they're just constantly moving around. A lot of them are at Burning Man right now, and they have no address.
Yep. I know like 2 people who are just kind of winging it, and even one of my girlfriends is thinking about just she has a normal job working for pharmaceutical companies, but she's just thinking of kind of doing either Airbnb or working completely remotely and just going like living out of the country, and then she doesn't really have to go into the office that often anyways. So she's like, oh, I'm thinking about like Mexico City.
There's this girl I'm watching on YouTube that lives out of her car.
That's called homeless.
Yes.
Couch surfing.
And, well, a lot of times these people are not. I mean, they're not always on people's couches. Whenever I find out where they are, like they're usually in really nice hotels, and then since they get invited to all these certain events, there's like hotels included. Because I guess they're kind of just well-known digital artists, so they do these jobs and they get invited places to speak, and they just looks like they're living the high life.
I would like to live that life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're the opposite though. At my age, I mean, we not only bought our house, I mean, we already paid for it, so I can't. I mean, we're just stuck here.
You can sell it for more money.
It's just really weird. But I mean, if you guys are all kind of like no children, bachelors and bachelorettes, you can just do that. But for me, it's a whole big deal to leave the house at all.
Yeah, that is true. Well, your kids are getting older. They'll be out of the house soon.
Yeah.
Then you can be homeless too.
Is there an ETA, Sean, in terms of your new potential move? You guys looking like, okay, let's make a decision by next year, or let's make a decision.
Well, I think the big factor is when our youngest gets into middle school, the schools here are really good up until 5th grade. So when she gets to 5th grade, we have to be out of here.
Okay. Does Mumm-Ra have nipples?
Yes.
I don't know.
They're pierced.
Mumm-Ra should have nipples, right?
Well, doesn't matter.
I'm getting to the point.
He's a mummy, but he's still human.
Is he? Was he? Or is he an alien? Because he's on the planet with like cats. I mean, does Mumm-Ra
have cat nipples?
How many nipples does cats have? They have like 6, right? Or 8?
6, 8. Isn't it 6? How many nipples does a cat have?
I don't know.
I think it might be 6. Because it's I think it's 6 because cats usually don't have litters that are bigger than 6. And if they do, then kittens are fighting for a nipple.
How many nipples does a male cat have?
6.
It would be the same, right? But just
wouldn't it be the same?
Yeah.
Would the male cat have 6 nipples, or the male cat doesn't have 6? I don't know. Who has a cat?
Oh, you know what?
Who has a male cat?
They have different. I just Googled it. On average, a cat has between 6 and 8 nipples.
Oh, 8?
What? Some cats have fewer nipples than others, and some have more. Okay, yeah.
Can you breed a cat to have like 12?
I suppose if you really wanted that.
As long as you find that DNA sequence, I guess that's a possibility.
Right.
Maybe.
I mean, you can just see what they did with dogs. I mean, at one point, dogs only look like wolves.
Yeah.
But then we can make them whatever we want.
Yeah. You can only breed cats so much, and they're still cats.
I'm dreaming of the 12-nipple cat.
Man, I'm just kind of surprised so many people have asked this question on the internet, but I shouldn't be.
What is the question? How many nipples does a cat have?
Does a cat have? Yeah. I shouldn't be surprised.
This is my favorite part now. I get to render the highlight on a helmet.
Mm.
Wow, that pen kind of works like a pencil. You can get like all different shades of
Yeah.
gray.
Let me erase all this other stuff here.
So you can't like those lines are all permanent, right?
They're all permanent. I mean, I go back in with a white paint pen. Shit, we're 2 hours in? Holy cow. All right.
That's a good drawing, man. That's
Thank you, Sean.
That's a daddy right there.
so this is Courtney's birthday gift. Like if you say yes, then all like 60 people will just leave the room.
We'll say
No,
like
There's no chance in getting this.
only Courtney can guess the number, but she has to guess within. We'll give her first
150
dibs,
tries.
right? So Sean, you give me a
I
number.
feel like somebody else can appreciate this.
Oh, she doesn't
I'll
like.
call.
She doesn't like
I'll
Daddy
call
Mumm-Ra.
when there's one that I want. Then I'll
Okay.
I'll
Okay,
call
she's
and
taking a
see.
rain check. on
Mumm-Ra's
her,
too
range.
old. He's too old for her.
Yeah.
I'm not in it.
Ageist.
I'm not
Yeah, you want
living.
to be
I'm not living my Mumm-Ra fantasy here. Not
in the
there.
foreground. You should draw the back of her head.
Yes, then I'll take it. I need to see myself in this with him.
Oh, I think some people might want to claim. I think Dr. Midnight's asking the process for a claim. I think you just call out.
Just call out.
Yeah, and start low because you never know if maybe no one wants it.
Right.
So,
This is a
So it's like
6 by
$10.
9. 6 by 9.
it was 6 by 9, so yeah, to take into account the size.
Roy Batty. Mumm-Ra makes the mini skirt look badass.
He's Scottish.
He's Scottish. Those are thick thighs. Yeah, he's the daddy.
I think
He got his.
the fun part about drawing with a ballpoint pen is like going in and like creating kind of these textural highlights.
Yeah, that's like Sergio Topi.
I have the snakes going in 2 different directions. One's outwards, one's inwards.
Oh, that's an odd choice.
Anyways, all right. Well, what's next week's battle of the sketches?
I think it's another theme, right? For the next month is another
anime manga.
something.
I think we're
maybe
drawing like
it's
One Piece.
Oh, One Piece.
One of the weeks is One Piece. Jerry posted it the other day.
Let's see.
Is it on Discord? We should maybe also do like for battle, like to say limited to maybe a particular tool 1 week.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like everybody do like a watercolor.
tool. Oh, you
A
mean
medium.
medium? Okay, that's gonna be crazy for Gulf Boy Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, Golf Boy Sunday will be able to rule the pen hatching week.
yeah.
Rated PG. Mumm-Ra's helmet was designed by MC Escher. Really?
Oh yeah, it's just the reflections and stuff in it. Cool.
Okay, Dr. Midnight. All right. Well, if there's a claim on it, then
Dr. Midnight claimed it for 60.
okay.
Well, did you have a in the past? Did you have a minimum or something like that on the claim?
No, not really. I think that's cool. Oh, see, the only thing with the ballpoint pen is I don't think you can erase.
Oh yeah, you can't. But also, you can build up the shade. So a lot of times when you make a mistake, you can just cover over it with a lot of lines.
Yeah, everything else goes. Everything else has to go darker though, incrementally.
I don't think that was too low. I mean, I was thinking like no one else claims, so I
No,
mean,
that's fine.
it's smart to go low because usually it's just a free giveaway.
Anything else? We're almost done here.
That's looking good.
Using a Posca marker, sponsored by. If you have gambling problems.
Janoff. Oh.
Oh, this is Janoff's.
Yeah. Oh, so you're using the Posca, like the fat tip one.
This is kind of thin. It's kind of thin. It's not the thinnest.
Okay, yeah, that's the one that I use. That's the best. Well, I use one that's thinner than that, but yeah, that stuff is paint, so you can actually work over it and stuff.
You can layer it.
And I found that most of those pens don't work, but the Posca is the one that actually
Posca's the best one, yeah.
Yeah, the worst is like those one called Jelly Roll or something like that.
I have those.
Oh yeah, those don't work.
Those master of clogging.
They don't do anything. The Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll.
They're cheap though.
Jelly Roll. All right. Sean, any other controversial things you want to talk about today? Or you want to talk about the Mike Deodato, Namor?
I never heard about that.
You what?
The what?
Mike Deodato, the artist.
What did he
posted
do?
a picture of a nude back pic and compared it to his back compared to the actor that's playing Namor. Am I right? Am I correct on that? You, Jimbo?
So what's the controversy?
no.
He's just kind of like, look at my back. It looks like
he was saying like, how come a comic book artist is more in shape than the actor of Namor?
Oh wait, who's that? Wait, who's that dude again?
Mike Deodato.
Yeah, he's no stranger to controversy.
He's Brazilian, right?
Oh, is he that popular one that thinks he's hot shit?
He's an older guy. He does like a lot of martial arts.
Oh no, I'm thinking about a younger guy who might be
Thinking about
Mexican.
someone else.
Mm.
You need to update your. Is he on your boyfriend whiteboard?
Boyfriend whiteboard.
Yeah, I guess I'll put him on the junior list. Oh yeah, George Jimenez.
Jorge Jimenez.
Jorge's a good-looking guy.
What did he do? Oh, I mean,
no, that's
no
what.
controversy.
Yeah,
Okay.
No. Because that guy's kind of ripped, so I didn't know if he's.
Oh yeah, that guy looks like Superman.
Yeah, Jorge's like the luckiest guy. Good-looking guy and talented.
But you look at, it's like he has that European, like that Spanish hair that's like thick and very wavy and never falls out. He has one of those guys.
There's got to be something up with Jorge. What do you think his flaw is?
I think he had a deal with the devil. I mean,
I think he has a small dick.
But there's so many other good traits that put him higher up on the leaderboard.
I thought it was the motion in the ocean. Uh-oh.
Well, you need something to work with, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You need something to work with.
All right. Anything else to this?
Jeez, what else can you put on that?
I really like this Posca pen.
Yeah, it lasts forever too. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's expensive, but it just never seems to run out.
So you're gonna color it now?
Nope. Does anybody else know about the Namor thing? Background color, simple
Yeah.
math.
What kind of artist is he? Is he popular?
Mike Diodato?
He's been around for a while,
Yeah.
Oh.
and I think there might be a little bit of like a little bit of right wing thing going on with him, possibly.
But he's Brazilian though, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said that already. I'm catching myself, repeating myself. Simple Math says we should add a color in the background.
He didn't say it. He yelled it. Background color.
He just wants the stream to go on a little longer.
Well, 2 hours in, I was only hoping for like an hour and a half. We've been averaging an hour and a half. Let me get some of this coffee on something.
That's not
It's a little
true.
brown.
I saw that you guys streamed a couple weeks ago when you first got to Taiwan, but I missed it because I went to Taco Tuesday.
Oh, that was 2 hours too.
Yeah, and then you ended the stream, and then I went on Discord, and I saw you guys were still talking on Discord. You two.
Oh, you listening on our conversation?
Dang, you listen.
I was gonna.
What if we were
jump
talking
on
about
and
you?
be
Yeah.
Like, were you? If I jumped on, you'd be like, "Holy shit!"
Bernard, that Courtney. Why do we have her on that?
Dude, we need to find a way to ban her. Everybody's got to stop talking to her. It's you just had a meeting, prior to what is it, like a reckoning. You bring somebody, you're like, you have a problem.
Intervention?
Yes, is that my interventions come?
You have to intervene on your boyfriend selection process.
My process is pretty across the board. I don't have like a type, obviously.
Well,
You don't have a type.
it doesn't have to be a type, but it's the selection process.
How should my selection process be?
Oh, I don't know. Hypothetically speaking.
Is this coffee you're putting on?
Coffee, yeah. 1 day's old coffee. 1 day's old coffee is a little bit darker than first day coffee. Actually, I've been using as shows now too. I bring instant coffee. It's a little bit easier that way. I don't have to wait until the end of the day when it cools off.
I think Dr. Midnight doesn't want this anymore.
Oh, he doesn't want the coffee? Uh-oh.
I'm joking. But what it does though, since it's warm, it makes you're using a blue pen.
Yeah.
It makes all the other stuff look more metallic.
Metallic, right? Mm. All right. I do like a little bit, getting a little dark brown, trying to get... The actual piece is a little bit darker than what you would see on screen because of the light and the camera.
I am too. I just look really white, but I'm pretty dark. No, I'm not. I'm see-through.
All right. Let's get out of here. Is this the claim? Is this claimed? We're locking it?
Dr. Midnight, right?
All right. Thank you, Dr. Midnight. Dr. Midnight's been really generous tonight, giving out
Yeah.
a lot of
It's
gift
like Santa
subs.
Claus.
Yeah, seriously.
Is it Dr. Midnight's birthday or something? Or what's the reason for the celebrating?
He's a filthy rich.
Yeah.
He's a doctor, He
Well,
makes
he's
doctor
doctor,
money.
right? That too.
Dr. Daddy Midnight.
Sean, thoughts on the student debt forgiveness?
No.
Well, I don't know. Like all that money that you claim that I have, it's really. I have 2 kids. It's just gone already. Like when they go to college. So it would be a real gift to me if I didn't have to pay for that college tuition.
Here's my thought on college tuition forgiveness. Another hot take. This stream is just full of hot takes. I can understand a little bit of the frustration for people who paid for college who didn't get this relief, but I can also see how this relief for people that did go to college provides some kind of uh, a little bit of a window opening for them, right? And besides, they're going to use that money that they're saving ideally and put it back into the economy,
Yeah,
right? So
for
they're going to
sure.
be able to, instead of it going to a bank, it'll go into buying something. So
Hmm.
um, my hot take is like, why didn't you just get a full scholarship
What is that?
Why can't we all get a full
for the
scholarship?
people that complain about them working and paying off school their student debt, and that it's not fair that uh, they didn't get the student debt relief, um, and that because they worked hard to pay off their student loans. Um, my question is, why didn't you work hard enough to get a full scholarship?
Well,
Oh,
I mean, they can't give away that many scholarships because it's a certain percentage of people. So I don't know.
I mean, but I don't know if you get like straight A's and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't work hard enough.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
worked
you
hard, you
worked
didn't
hard
work hard
enough.
enough. I worked hard.
I don't think they actually. I don't think they necessarily have a cap. Maybe too
There
much.
are only
Well,
so
I
many
guess
scholarships that they give you.
the scholarship would come from the college, but for this thing, it would come from the state, right, or from the
Yeah.
federal reserves.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
I also do kind of agree that maybe they should have just waived the interest. Uh,
Interest is the worst though because there's a lot of predatory lending,
right.
which is really unfortunate, and that interest just
My
is
question
it's
is, so this
insane.
loan forgiveness, does that mean that the government is paying off the loans to the banks that made the initial loans, or paying off like the 10,000 to the banks, so that the
That's a
banks are
good
still making the
question.
money, or is it like a government mandate that okay, the this is just erased from the books, um,
Hmm.
or can they do that because these are companies that have only federal loans, so the federal loans, um, simple man saying only federal loans are being waived off. But then are the federal
Yeah.
loans predatory in their interest, or only the kind of private loans? So private loans remain intact and untouched. Only federal
Yeah.
loans.
Hmm. I mean, I worked 4 jobs to get through college to pay
Hmm.
for it, and I would not wish that on anyone.
Well, Courtney, you didn't work hard enough in high school to get that full scholarship.
I didn't work hard enough in high school. I didn't try to work hard enough in high school. But like I mean that's the thing. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Like so
So
I'm all for it.
the predatory aspect also comes in the college tuition and book prices and other costs involved in going to school. When I
The
went to
costs are insane
college,
now
it was
though.
about 18 to
Yeah,
20,000 a year.
they gotta. I mean, no one's gonna go to college,
Yeah,
especially like I think everyone knows that those famous colleges aren't really worth the money you pay
now
for
it's
it. You
like
can get a great
60,000,
education.
right? 50 to
Yeah.
60,000 a year. Um,
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah. No, I think that's why I was just like I had other hobbies too that I wanted to pursue, and I didn't try to get straight A's.
so the loan interest payment so it's the federal loans. The federal government relying on that income from those loan repayments. Um, so that's where perhaps finding where this money now that we're forgiven going to come from, right? Is that where the uproar is about? So
I don't think so. I think it's just they're considering this as more of like a socialist handout for people when we're
Yeah.
you know giving
no, I understand. Yeah, I mean,
UBB loan forgiveness or other loan forgivenesses for businesses
but
at a much higher price. I mean 10,000 for in the long run of a 4-year education is nothing.
mhm.
That is a small percentage for a lot of people. So
It's not
but
fixing
I
the
get it. Like
system.
where, yeah, it's definitely not fixing it. It's
Yeah.
it's easing it for the few people that it's good for them. But I mean,
But the
America had a chance to actually have free higher education, and certain political parties like nay-nayed that because
right.
it's
But the predatory loans, my question again, going back to the
yeah
predatory loans, there's like different layering of that, right? So um,
yeah
there's the college tuition as part of the predatory
mm-hmm.
process. The predatory loans, when I hear that, I'm thinking, oh, it's I did take out a loan when I was in college to pay for room and
yeah
board because my tuition, my scholarship was only full tuition, so I still had to pay for uh,
mm.
dormitories, books, supplies, all that stuff. Um, but it was a much less, and I was able to pay it off a few years after out of college. But I stayed on campus too to save money, and I didn't eat. I didn't go out and eat out. So, but the predatory, like, were the federal loans predatory? That the government, the interest rate that
Right.
the government was charging?
Well, that's a good question. I think there's a lot of talk about around like Fannie Mae, and I'm not quite sure if they are technically connected to those programs. So
Because
yeah, I'm not.
my very surface, scratching the surface level understanding of it is that there are like these banks and lenders that generally provide student loans, that those are ones that are predatory, that they're charging
Uh,
outrageous interest rates.
yeah, they're less banks, so it's not like Bank of America, but it's like other kind of financial institutions that are specifically for like college or school tuitions,
Mm-hmm.
and even certain ones if people went to like smaller smaller colleges for certain things like car repair. Some colleges don't even exist anymore, and people don't recognize that that
Right, that degree that you get.
that
That's why
degree.
the schools
And
have to be accredited.
yeah, and I have like two friends that kind of did that. They went into something engineering related,
Mm-hmm.
and their degree isn't recognized, and they're still paying off loans, and it's definitely a predatory loan where they definitely owe more now than they did than their original loan.
Right.
And that won't probably ever be wiped out, but that's definitely something that should be handled, kind of for the company. Like the company should be looked into. That should be an illegal process. But
The school.
alas, it is not. Well, for somebody to actually pay their loan, and still owe the same amount, or if the interest rate is so goddamn high, or if you don't, if there's certain stimulations, or that if you don't pay this much at a certain time, then interest rates rise. There's so many different ways of kind of tricking 18-year-olds to get into debt this way, and they'll constantly be paying. They'll constantly pay $1,000 for like the rest of their life, they think. So
Yeah,
until they
imagine
get like that huge chunk of money.
we know people who go to these schools to learn to draw comics.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
they're never gonna pay.
Yeah,
and
that's
get enough money.
that's
Those guys are saddled for life.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, really, just show up to this chat and watch Bernard draw.
Or
That's
just
like
go on
it's
YouTube.
better than paying what Savannah College asked for.
Yeah, you're never gonna
Yeah,
don't go to
it's
college to. That degree doesn't mean anything for art. It'll be good for networking.
yeah.
But so is this stream. So,
I've watched a couple other artists on YouTube that kind of do
What, you're cheating on us,
art
Courtney?
schools.
yes, she's on someone else's show.
They don't let me on. They've seen the chaos that I can ensue, and
She's been
but they
co-host
don't
with Michael Giannicola.
I think you should go there and sabotage their streams.
Because
Okay.
he's younger and hunkier, so she's gonna go and be
Wait,
go
who's
hang
the
out
one
on.
with like a wife beater? Who's that
Oh
guy?
yeah, that's Crease. Yeah, she's gonna be
Oh, okay.
Crease is
I'm
not
just.
not with his Korean girlfriend
Oh
anymore.
shit, Tony has
Oh,
a.
he's not with his Korean girlfriend anymore.
Wait, who?
Yes,
What?
because
Crease broke up?
uh, he broke up with her because I think she was maybe, I don't know, moving too fast. So,
Oh,
too
is that
fast.
what he said on his stream?
and that's what he told me, but that's why I'm saying on this stream.
Oh, personally, he told you.
Yeah,
You guys
so
text?
Well, so wait, hold
oh,
on.
I saw him at a con.
Simple Man has an
Oh, okay.
example. Simple Man took out a loan for 27 and now owes
Oh,
78.
yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Exactly. That's fucking insane. And this
Yeah,
is
get rid of that
education. There
interest.
shouldn't
That's
be
crazy
interest
interest.
on it. I get it.
It's
You can pay off your, but there should not be interest on education.
yeah, it's not a material good that you bought. It's
Exactly.
Hey, Matthew Crossart is here under a new name, Kaizen Crossart.
oh.
Welcome to this. Yeah, it's like 9 o'clock. It's 9 a.m. It's actually 12. It's noon over there, I think. Noon or
Yeah.
1
He's on his lunch break.
on lunch break. So 28, 27, now you owe 78. Oh,
Fuck.
shit. And it's all
Yeah, we
interest.
gotta do something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Win the lottery.
Well, I think,
The lottery is supposed to go into education, right? All the money that
right.
you.
But it's local
Uh,
secondary school, not like college, right? But definitely,
yeah.
I think, but it's not fixing the student loan itself. The 10,000 forgiveness is not exactly fixing the system, but it's providing a temporary relief.
Yeah.
Right? So as long as there is an effort to fix the system, and in addition to temporary relief, but I do think
I'm
this
actually.
is an ongoing
Oh,
thing.
sorry.
I mean, I was just saying, I do think this is an ongoing thing that if
Yeah.
they only did this 10,000, but didn't in the next year or so look to begin to correct this predatory kind of like lending, begin to quote unquote fix what the problem is. This is really only a temporary band-aid relief, and doesn't necessarily
Absolutely.
address. It's almost like you have cancer and you're giving the cancer patient some ice cream to feel good for a little bit, but you're not giving them any kind of medicine to or medical procedures to cure.
Yeah, this country, man. What the fuck is
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
I would say it'd be more like a cancer patient should get 10 rounds of chemo,
just
and
say,
then you only
just
give
don't
them
get cancer.
one round of chemo, so it kind of helps, but the cancer is going to grow back anyways.
There's
But yeah.
All right. Any more hot takes for the day before we get canceled?
Or recommendations on who I should date since Blue Kid
We need a
dumped me.
next stream. What's next week? Yeah. Well, next stream, Courtney. We gotta talk. We gotta break down your dating process.
Let's see that whiteboard.
Oh, I have to show you.
Yeah. So that you know, all these
Criteria.
guys. Yeah, we got
The rubric for being Courtney's date.
multi-layered stream here. Learning about art, learning about girls, learning about student loans.
I don't think people should learn about girls from me.
And why the 125,000 salary mark? Is that the mark where your student loans can no longer become tax deductible? I understand that at one point student loans are tax deductible.
Oh, why would it not be?
Yeah.
No, but after a certain earning threshold,
Oh, okay.
your student loan payments do
got it.
no longer
I
become.
think it's just because they're like you can pay for it, so you're not struggling as much as people that
Yeah,
might be struggling more. So I guess they made that kind of a threshold.
Yeah, there should be an age
Unfortunately.
limit to politicians also. That's true too. We're getting really political on this stream now.
Oh yeah,
Well,
we're not
take
supposed to do that.
one,
We're not supposed to do that.
Where's
Sorry.
Carson McKinney to get back? Get back.
How old is he?
How old is he?
He's within your
He's
threshold.
old
No.
enough to
I think
date.
he's under your threshold.
What was that?
I think he's under your threshold. 23.
No,
I
just
think
make an
22
exception.
was
When
my
you reach
threshold.
40, then you go down to 23.
It's half your age plus 2. Courtney. So it's
All right.
20, and then plus 2 is 22.
Oh, so 22.
Yeah. I
All
think it's
right.
22.
All right. I did have a 22-year-old talk to me in Vegas.
Ooh.
He was from Los Angeles, and he made music, which sounds very much like a 22-year-old.
Made music, so he's poor, right? So,
Yeah.
Half your age
Yeah.
plus 7. Lurky, what time era do you live in? That's Canadian code. Half your age plus 7. That's in Canada. But in the U.S., it's half
That's
your age
gentleman
plus 2.
code.
Yeah.
We don't do gentlemen here.
All right, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Dr. Midnight. DM me on Instagram, Dr. Midnight, your address, and I'll get this out to you later this week.
that's a great piece.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sean. You guys got anything you want to add before we get off?
Sean?
Check out 24/7 Comics.
Oh, Sean
If
got a
you're
Twitter
into
account too.
NFTs.
What's up?
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know.
I do have something to add. When you were in Taiwan,
Mm-hmm.
and I forget who posted 2 separate videos of you guys when you were younger. I don't know if you saw that on the Discord.
Oh no, somebody
Oh,
posted.
God.
I wasn't able to check
You
Discord that
didn't
often.
see the. Yeah, you should. I forgot who posted them. But in both separate videos, one was of Sean doing the New York Times. I think it was New York Times.
Oh,
No,
okay, yeah. That wasn't
What
that
was it?
long ago. Yeah,
From your house.
yeah. That's my
Um,
current house. Yeah.
yeah, that wasn't that long ago. And another one was you guys from San Diego, I think in 2010 or 2012 or something. But I just had to note that in both interviews, you guys both said that you do your job in your underwear, and
Oh,
you said that on
yeah.
national television, Sean.
Yeah, because we do that. I mean,
But I watched them like back to back, and first I laughed at that, and then I saw Bernard say the exact same thing like a minute later, and I was like,
It got creepy.
these are the people I know. No, I was just like, makes more sense why I'm here. But
Well, at
you
least we had
mentioned
underwear on, though.
being a stripper. Bernard mentioned he did his job in his underwear like a stripper.
Hey, I'm not naked. I'm not like a savage. Come on.
Yeah.
The video's there.
I mean, maybe my underwear is like long johns.
That's what you said. It's video.
All right.
I'm not making this up.
Yeah, we used to live together. It was not Long John's.
Oh, that's true.
I'm pretty sure everybody has pictures of you in your underwear. Bernard.
All right, let me watch this. I see this now.
People have sent me pictures of you in your underwear.
Roy Batty posted these. Thanks, Roy.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
It
I
was
picture you with no underwear. that Tommy gave me.
Shh. Until next week. Thank you, everybody. We still got to do that Instagram thing, Sean.
Yeah, we'll give it a go.
Okay. Happy holiday. Oh, let's rate somebody.
Oh,
This is a really long stream.
Who out there?
Who should we raid? Anybody have Dr. Midnight? You have somebody you want to raid, or anybody else? Susu JPG,
Cody Chibi.
Cody Shibi. Anybody? I'm typing.
somebody with big boobs.
Amarath. Amarath's not on. Thank you. Thank
All
you,
right,
cousin.
I'll settle for a skinny guy and a wife beater.
Thank you, Moshe, for your raid. CCA. What about that DJ Miss? Is she still on? DJ,
Oh, the one that cooks
the one that
Taiwanese
cooks?
food
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
and dances really bad.
Is
Ooh, yeah, she does.
CCA co-art, is she on? Or are they on? I don't see KT. Okay, CC. CC. Okay, let's raid. Make Havoc. I will do KT Bop next time. Remind me. KT Bop. Somehow, Steve's.
KT Pop.
Okay, I think. All right, let's raid now. Thank you. See you guys. Happy holidays.
Bye.
Thanks for joining. See you next week.
All right.
Oh, League of Legends.
Oh, they're playing video games.
I think he's drawing every character from League of Legends.
Oh, he's drawing?
So many. And different skins, too.
Mm.
Oh, wow. That's a huge drawing.
That's cool.
Hello. Let me, hold on. Let me, hubba. Okay.